baseball night in America takes us out west. You got a chance to see London earlier today. Now a beautiful afternoon turning into an evening at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles as these two perennial powerhouse teams meet in a World Series rematch from 6 years ago. Both trying to find some traction, but no panic on either side between the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. Adam Amin, Eric Karros, glad to be with you on this Saturday. So we just said it, right? These are two teams that you expect to be at the top of the divisions, but to the credit of these two teams' divisions, it's much tougher this year for the Astros and the Dodgers out west.
Well, there have been some bumps in the road up to this point, but you have to remember, since 2017, at least one of these organizations has been a participant in the World Series.
I think there's something to be said about the youth movement for both of these teams. Offensively, yes, but especially in the pitching staffs. 5 of the 6 starting pitchers in this series are rookies, and we're arguably seeing the best of the bunch right out of the gate in Bobby Miller.
Well, Bobby Miller gets the ball tonight for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He was a first-round pick in 2020 out of the University of Louisville. The guy has an electric arm, throws the ball 100 miles an hour. You see his numbers so far, 2.83 ERA, but what you have to look at, 9 earned runs, 7 of those earned runs came in his last 1 2/3 innings pitched. For you math majors back home, that's 27 innings pitched, only 2 earned runs to start the season. He's electric.
So you got Miller on one side, you got Ronel Blanco on the other side. They have combined so far to make just 8 starts. How about the weight on the shoulders of these two young pitchers for these big-time franchises and organizations? The Houston Astros, the defending World Series champions, get set to take on the Los Angeles Dodgers on a Saturday afternoon, turning into a Saturday night. It's baseball night in America on Fox. Coming your way next. The toss at Correa 2 years ago with fans here in Los Angeles. These two teams played 2 games in this stadium, and it was quite vehemently shown to the Astros when they did come into town that it was not forgotten, that 2017 World Series. Of course, Dusty Baker, over the course of this week, has talked a little bit about it. He said, time heals a lot of wounds. Perhaps that will be healed as well with time. This wound, again, Dusty Baker was not part of that World Series run in 17, but did get his first World Series title last year. The future baseball Hall of Famer. Jose Altuve has probably heard the boos about as much as any player on this roster. He is back at the top of this Astros lineup after he's missed a bunch of time this year with injury, and he will lead things off for Houston. And this is their batting order. It's been a below-average offense so far this season, less than 4.5 runs per game. Altuve, Bregman, Tucker, and Abreu, familiar names in the top 4. Abreu, the free agent this year. Pena's done better down in the order. Bly Madris makes his Houston debut. Jake Myers, excellent defender, is back in at center after Chas McCormick started yesterday. And here comes Altuve to begin the day. Just game number 26 for Altuve this year. Bobby Miller deals a high fastball to start the day. No swing, says Quinn Wolcott. Away we go at 4:15 local time in Los Angeles. A couple of 99-mile-an-hour fastballs make it 2-0. Altuve, of course, got hurt in the World Baseball Classic, so missed a bunch of time to begin the year with a thumb injury. Recently came back from an oblique injury as well. 2-1 the count on Altuve.
You talk about Altuve really in a spring training mode, just trying to get his feet wet, get acclimated to the game again. Got himself into a good hitter's count, 3-1. Earned himself a fastball right here. Should be sitting on one.
It's a 3-1. It is a fastball. It is a swing and a pop-up into right for Mookie Betts. One away for Bobby Miller, who showed up with some impressive outings. His first 4 starts, he was near unhittable, 3-0. Got roughed up late innings in his last outing against the Giants last week.
Yeah, well, you saw at the top of the show, an inning and 2/3, he gave up 7 runs. But he has been absolutely dominant. Sinker, slider, changeup, 4-seamer, and curve. And if you notice, all of those pitches at least 10% usage. So you can't just sit on anything.
Bregman, the other Astro that will likely hear it the rest of the afternoon and the rest of the weekend, along with Altuve. There's a strike at 100 miles an hour from Bobby Miller. Bregman just hit his 150th career homer earlier this week. Hit it off of Justin Verlander and the New York Mets. Astros took 2 games to close out that series against the Mets. Prior to that, had lost 5 in a row. They have really struggled offensively without Yordan Alvarez. Bregman swings and pops it up in Betts' direction again. Freeman is out chasing and out of play into the netting.
Well, you mentioned the Astros without Yordan Alvarez, and when you take one of the best hitters in all of baseball out of your lineup, obviously it's going to impact not only your run production, but everybody else in that lineup. We mentioned Altuve. He's really just starting to get his feet wet again. Well, Bregman hasn't got going. Tucker's had a good year. Abreu, they're hoping he gets going.
Miller with a 2-2 and off the fist. Bregman pops it up to Freeman. 2 up and 2 down. So Yordan Alvarez in his absence, the Astros have gone 8-11 without him in the lineup. He's really been out since the beginning of June, the 2nd week of June. And over that period, about 15, 16 games, the Astros are 5-11.
Yeah, you can look at those offensive numbers right there, the runs per game. A lot being made of Aaron Judge not being with the Yankees and how he's impacted, or his loss has impacted the Yankee offense. You can say the same for this Astro ball club.
Yep. Kyle Tucker, still probably the most dangerous hitter in this lineup overall this year without Alvarez. Sends one the other way, but a fly ball out to Jason Hayward in a 1-2-3 Bobby Miller inning. Worked in the top of the first. Dodger offense goes to work in the bottom of the frame coming up. Dodgers offense, which is top 4 in baseball in runs per game, has Betts, Freeman, and Smith and Martinez in their top 4. They've been very solid all year. Hayward, Outman, Vargas, Rojas, Bush. The bottom of the order has struggled overall this year for the Dodgers. They were instrumental in their 3-2 victory yesterday over the Astros. They'll go up against Ronel Blanco. These numbers are just in his last 3 outings, which have been his first 3 major league starts.
He started the year out of the bullpen, but Dusty Baker telling us prior to the game that he likes this young man and thinks he has the ability to be a starter. You see that usage right there, that slider all day long, the 4-seamer. And those are predominantly used against the right-handed hitters.
Yeah, he'll toss in a changeup and curve mostly to lefties. Got a fastball off to Betts, which missed, and it's 1-0 to Mookie Betts, who had a leadoff home run in the bottom of the first yesterday, the 43rd leadoff home run of his career. He and Altuve have combined for 80 or almost 80 home runs to lead off games. Here could be another one for Betts, all the way to the track at the wall, and an incredible effort by Corey Julks to make the catch and rob Betts of a home run to begin the game. The rookie stepping up and taking away the run from Betts.
Mookie trying to do what he did last night and go deep. Jelks is having none of it. You see him elevate high. He goes over the high part of the fence and brings the ball back. Unbelievable timing, unbelievable athleticism.
Freeman first pitch, fair ball to Abreu. Nice play defensively there by the veteran first baseman as he tosses to Blanco. But Julks, the highlight of the first. How about this incredible play?
Just his ability to find where the wall is right there, and then he leaps over the big part of the fence and brings it back.
Helping out Blanco.
How about 3 pitches, 2 outs, but man, oh man, it's all defense. Oh boy.
And that's not an easy thing to do. Just the way you want to get through Altuve and Bregman if you're Bobby Miller, you want to get through Betts and Freeman if you're Ronel Blanco, and he does just that with some great defense behind him. Will Smith, who will be an all-star more than likely this year, takes a strike. It's 1-1. Really strong year for Smith, who had a base hit in 4 trips yesterday. I was asking some of the Astros people specifically about Corey Julks in left field. Remember, no Michael Brantley with the shoulder injury. They've shuffled guys in and out of left field this season, and Julks has gotten a lot of the play there. Smith cranks one in the same direction. Julks is not going to have any shot of this one. Long gone for Smith, his 11th of the year. Dodgers take the 1-0 lead.
Will Smith, as difficult a hitter to pitch to as anybody in all of baseball. This pitch out of the zone, up and in. But you see his bring his hands in, pulls them through, and drives that ball deep to left field. He is really an underrated hitter. You know, people just talk about, well, he's a good hitter because he's a catcher. Over 400 on base percentage.
And over a 900 OPS for Smith. He and Sean Murphy have been 2 of the best catchers in baseball this year. They're 1 and 2 in all-star voting right now. Murphy's got the lead. A resurgent free agent season for JD Martinez as he takes a strike. Already 16 home runs this season after 16 all of last year with Boston. Out in front, 2-2 the count.
He's been reunited with Robert Van Scoyoc and Aaron Bates, but Van Scoyoc has been a guy that he's relied on for a number of years as far as hitting is concerned, working with his swing. And
former Astro, of course. Martinez started his career at the major league level in Houston. Did not have a very good run of it, and went through a lot of the swing changes, including one recently that has helped him get to the point where he's at this year. Stays alive, 3-2. Martinez closing in on a milestone, 298 career home runs. Payoff pitch yet again, and Blanco misses upstairs. This is the early issue for Ronel Blanco, who again is only making his 4th major league start. Only appeared 7 times last year as a reliever, 9 times as a reliever this year before being thrust into the rotation. And if his command early is good, then he's going to be in okay shape. He's missed a few pitches in this 1st inning. Here's Jason Hayward, the left-hander, taken upstairs.
And this is not the team, if you're a pitcher that struggles with command, the Dodgers are not who you want to face. They have a very low chase rate. They command the strike zone. They make you throw it over the plate, and they try to do damage.
2nd in the major leagues in walks drawn are the Dodgers, right behind the Padres. Hayward golfs one deep to right field. Tucker's turning around. Tucker watches it go. Jason Hayward comes up with a big fly. A 2-home run inning off Blanco, and it's 3-0 Dodgers. An eventful 16 pitches in this bottom of the 1st inning.
Jason Hayward has been everything and more the Dodgers could have asked. Signed him to a minor league deal in the offseason, revamped his swing, and has been very productive, both defensively, offensively. Came in being very receptive to the Dodgers swing changes. Boy, has it worked. In Blanco has 2 outs this inning, but those 2 outs, remember, one a robbed home run and the other Abreu at first base making a nice play on Freddie Freeman.
There's a potential Rookie of the Year candidate in the National League, and James Outman, who takes ball 1. 3-hit game yesterday. Former 7th round pick fouls one. It's 1-1. Home run ball has been a problem for Blanco. He's pitched 30 innings almost this year, has given up 8 home runs. And the walk number is at 17 in that stretch. Again, a guy who's learning to become a starter. Both of these teams have dealt with a lot of injuries on their pitching staffs, in particular in their rotations. Jose Urquidy is down right now. Lance McCullers is down. Luis Garcia is down. Fouled by Outman, 2-2. They've moved Brandon Bielak back to AAA. So that's the reason that Blanco is back into the starting rotation. They had a long stretch of time where they played 26 games in 27 days. So went to a 6-man at one point. That's when Blanco got thrust in initially. Another 2-2. Waved on and missed. Outman goes down swinging, but a wild bottom of the first inning. Julks started the frame, taking one away from Mookie Betts. You're thinking, oh man, the defense may step up. Well, then Will Smith comes up, cranks one out to left field. 2 batters later, Jason Hayward makes it 3-0. The train kept moving late for the Dodgers in the first. 3-0 LA. And once you get a taste, you'll never be the same. This ain't that. Bobby Miller gets to work with a lead now. 3-0 Dodgers after a wild first. And Jose Abreu, the former American League MVP with the White Sox, will take a strike. First season with the Astros. It has not been easy, but Dusty Baker very much feels like there are signs that Abreu is getting back to normal. He fouls one at the plate. It's 0-2. He has not played since Tuesday against the Mets. He got Wednesday off. Both of these teams were off on Thursday, and then one more day off for Abreu yesterday. Something he hasn't really had a chance to do this season.
No, that's one of the things that Dusty hopes will get him going. This guy's a tireless worker, and the reality is, you know, he's up there in age, and you can't continue to do the same thing you were doing when you were young. You have to curtail your workouts. You have to curtail your energy.
And he bangs one back off the middle, off the mound for a base hit. So Abreu is the first Astros base runner aboard. Dusty's been talking about this, was hoping to get those rest days and maybe come back fresh.
See, 3 days off, this is what it'll do for you.
There you go. Who amongst you can't use 3 days off right now watching at home? You telling me you don't want 3 days off? Dusty Baker, venerable future Hall of Famer, sees Abreu reach to start the second against Miller. And here's the man who's been filling in often for Abreu and Yordan Alvarez in the middle of this order. That's Yainer Diaz, rookie for this club, who's had a really solid month of June. 4 home runs just in the last couple of weeks. He's got 5 of his 7 career homers this month. That got jammed on the inside. It's a double play ball. Bush to Vargas to Freeman. Wow. Nice play by the rookie at third, Michael Bush, who's getting used to that position.
Yeah, Michael Bush has done a nice job over at third in place of Max Muncy. He's played some excellent defense. And you see when he catches the ball, it takes a little time to gather his feet. He knows who's running. He knows that he's received the ball quick. You see that double play is turned, and Diaz not even in the picture.
So now the base is empty for Jeremy Pena, last year's ALCS and World Series MVP, who is still trying to get going, although you're starting to see the average and OPS climb a little bit as he's been dropped in the order. He's been more comfortable in the bottom of the order so far. Has hits in 8 of his last 10 games, and all of those games he's either been hitting 6th or 7th. This one off the end of the bat into right field. He shoots another base hit. And tonight's telecast from Los Angeles is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect the stuff you love with Renters Insurance. Beautiful day at a beautiful park. Third oldest in Major League Baseball behind Fenway and Wrigley, Dodger Stadium. Chavez Ravine in Los Angeles. 2-out single for Pena, and here is Bly Madris making his Houston Astros debut, playing his 40th career Major League game. Played 39 last year with the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'll be curious to see, EK, how the Astros, who only had 3 hits on Friday, 2 of which were home runs and didn't have a man in scoring position, how aggressive they'll be against the Dodgers, who have given up the most stolen bases in baseball this year.
Yeah, that has been something where the Dodgers have been vulnerable. Teams have been taking advantage. Whether it's the pitchers being slower, whether it hasn't been good transfers, it's mostly been stealing bases because the pitching staff hasn't been as attentive as they could be.
Speaking of which, Pena goes. It is a swing, though, from Madris. He goes around, and that will end the inning. So we saw some aggressiveness from Pena there. Miller leaves a man stranded. Dodgers up 3-0. Major League Baseball fans, still a little time left for your chance to win $10,000 for free on Fox Bet Super 6. Get your phone out, download the free app, enter your 6 predictions from today's game for a chance at the prize. Enter now before the contest closes. 2 first-inning home runs for the Dodgers. A solo shot from Smith, a 2-run blast from Hayward, and a 3-0 lead. Miguel Vargas swings at the first couple of offerings, pops one up to Jose Abreu for out number 1.
Blanco so far early on giving up 2 home runs, and remember Mookie Betts had 1 robbed, but all 3 of those pitches a 4-seam fastball, and that's not where he's going to live. He's got to live with the slider. The Dodgers absolutely do all kinds of damage against fastballs, especially 4-seamers. Just playing with fire.
Here is Miguel Rojas, who started his Major League career with the Dodgers all the way back in 2014, then a long time with the Miami Marlins, now back with Los Angeles. Rojas a couple of base hits and a walk yesterday. We mentioned the bottom of the Dodger order had struggled most of the year, collectively hitting around 205, which is last in baseball, but they had 6 hits, 2 walks, 2 runs, and an RBI from the 6 through 9 spots yesterday. That one flipped down the line, foul, still nothing at 2. You see where they're at. A couple of spots from the bottom in the 7 through 9 holes specifically. Reaching out that time, Rojas. Good slider from Blanco for his 2nd strikeout. Most of his strikeouts have come on the breaking ball this year.
Well, and right here he goes with that slider out of the zone and gets Rojas to offer at it. Again, that's where he's going to get his outs, especially against this team. You're going to try to throw that 4-seam fastball, just not going to work.
First pitch swinging, Michael Busch fouls one at the plate, 0-1. Busch ended up with what ended up as the game-winning RBI in the bottom of the 4th inning yesterday with a double. Playing just his 14th Major League game. So 2 rather inexperienced players going up against one another in Blanco and Busch. Oh, 2.
Blanco relying much more on his breaking ball this inning. We talk about it. The four-seamer. He's basically a two-pitch guy.
Yeah.
And again, he will offer the change and the curve, mainly against left-handed hitters, but loves that slider.
Both of his strikeouts today have come on the slider. 25 of his 33 this year. Fastball outside. And I would imagine mixing in the changeup and the curveball to the lefties might come if he continues to start a little bit more. He's still learning how to pace himself as a starter. Bush stays alive.
And no question, coming out of the pen and then starting is a much different approach. And you mentioned not giving your all in the first or second, of one or two innings, which you can do as a reliever. But as a starter, sometimes you don't want to show all your pitches early on. First time around, you may approach hitters different.
Broken bat pop-up. The shortstop Pena is out. And a bounce back 1-2-3 inning worked by Blanco as we head to the third in LA. Dodgers 3, Astros nothing as we go to the third inning at Dodger Stadium. It'll be Corey Julks to lead things off for the Astros against Bobby Miller. 24-year-old Bobby Miller deals. Julks lines one towards short, right towards Rojas, who moves to make the catch. One pitch, one out. So you got a youngster in Bobby Miller on the mound, and you got a 23-year-old in the dugout, and Emmett Sheehan, who just got his first major league win last night. Emmett, congratulations and thanks for the time today.
Thank you guys for having me.
Give me a sense, man. You've been thrust around between Double-A. You jumped to Oklahoma City at Triple-A, where you never tossed a pitch. You suddenly get called up with all the injuries and all the rotation issues in LA with the big club, and you've been great your first two starts. How has it happened? How are you feeling?
It's been awesome. I mean, everyone's so welcoming here, so I mean, it makes everything really easy.
Emmett, how did you find out that you were going to be starting here in LA?
Well, our AAA manager, Travis Barbary, called me 2 days before I was supposed to start there, so they just told me I'm going here instead.
And the reaction was?
I mean, I did not expect it, but I was over the moon, obviously. Really nervous, but yeah, no, just a lot of emotions.
So who was the first phone call you made?
My mom.
Yeah.
My mom, for sure.
You could see it. You could see some of your Dodger teammates laughing as you're on the mic. Altuve's up at the plate. The crowd's going nuts. This has got to be an interesting place for even you. I know a guy who's worked your way up to get to the big leagues, but still all of this is so new to you, I would imagine, right?
For sure. Yeah, no, really new. But yeah, like I said, everyone's really welcoming, and it's been great.
Emmett, on that Tulsa staff in Double-A, comprised of a ton of hard throwers. In fact, I saw a list of all the staffs in all of pro ball. That's including the major leagues. The Tulsa staff had the highest velocity throwers. Talk a little bit about that staff.
Yeah, no, it's a really special group of guys, and everyone's got really good stuff. But yeah, no, what really makes it special is everyone competing all the time. We're competing against each other, competing against the other team, and it's just fun, really fun.
How hard is it to stay locked in when everybody's slinging seeds at you right now? You're doing okay?
Not too bad. Yeah.
Altuve at the plate. Jake Myers breaking out of a slump with a double. Altuve into right field. That's down for a base hit. Myers is getting the go sign from Gary Pettis, and he will come around to score. Altuve drives in Myers, and the Astros are on the board here in the third. It's 3-1. That'll bring up Alex Bregman. So Myers breaks out of an 0 for 23 with a double. Altuve backs him up with an RBI single.
Emmett, talk about, in your brief time here so far, what have you learned or what have you picked up that you weren't aware of or you didn't know?
I mean, I've learned a lot just from watching the guys, watching a lot of the veterans here, that the way they go about their work and the way they are on the mound, everything just, mentally, I'm into that type of stuff, and I think it's cool to see everyone here.
Dave Roberts was telling us a little bit about how you and Bobby Miller, who's on the mound today, how you guys have kind of picked up stuff from Clayton Kershaw. As Altuve takes off, he's in there with a stolen base, his 5th of the year, and into scoring position. Give me a sense of what you and Bobby specifically have been taking in your short time at the big league level from Kershaw.
I think just everything. We've been trying to take in as much as we can. I mean, when he was pitching the other day, I was watching every single step he took, like everything he did. So, I mean, just everything from his routines, the way he goes about his work, you know, in the weight room, and the way he does it out on the field is just top of the line.
Ball and a strike on Bregman with a man in scoring position. And Altuve off the mound to the second baseman Vargas. Altuve on to third. There's the second out of the inning. Emmett, really appreciate the time. It was fun to watch you guys work last night. You get your first major league win, and we appreciate the time today, man. You got the national TV spotlight with sunflower seeds.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks again. 23 years of age, pitching for the Dodgers in that starting rotation. And did not know when to take the headset off. I think it's okay, Emmett. Yeah, there you go. Needed a little bit of a push there. Great stuff from the youngster. First pitch swinging. Kyle Tucker loops it down the line, and it slices out of play, foul. You were talking about his time at Double-A, so never even pitched at Triple-A and was on a staff with all those flamethrowers in Tulsa.
Well, that's the thing. The Dodger Tulsa staff is noted for having a ton of big league prospects. I mean, there's guys that are there that could be 4s and 5s for a lot of teams in the big leagues. That's one thing that come trade deadline, they'll be able to tap into those resources.
Appreciate Emmett's time. Got a well-pitched game on both sides. J.P. France was the rookie for Houston yesterday that went 6 innings and did give up 3 runs, but another quality start from a young Houston pitcher. That's been a major trend for the Astros this year, too. As we mentioned, 5 of the 6 scheduled starters in this series are all rookies. The only non-rookie in this series is going to go for the Dodgers on Sunday Night Baseball. That's Tony Gonsolin. Hunter Brown, the rookie for Houston, is going to go tomorrow night. Altuve at third, and Tucker takes down an inside 2-2.
Yeah, Hunter Brown, he is special for the Astros. And for those of you that don't know, it's a Justin Verlander clone. Justin Verlander not with the Astros this year, but boy, if you watch this kid throw, you'd think it was JV out there on the hill.
2-2 to Tucker. Check swing. Appeal to third. No swing, says Jose Navas. And the count runs full. Tucker has worked himself back after being down 0-2. An all-star and a Gold Glover last year. And after being down 0-2, he works the walk. Julks lined out on the first pitch to start this inning. Myers, who was 0 for his last 23, doubled. And then Jose Altuve on a 2-strike pitch with an RBI single. He stole second, moved to third on a Bregman groundout. And now Tucker has walked to extend the inning to Abreu. A base hit, a sharp one at that, into center field in the second for Abreu. First pitch swinging down the right field line. Betts all the way towards the sidewall, and he'll run out of room. That's one of the things that Dusty Baker was talking about with Abreu. You're starting to see a little bit more power on his natural swings the other way. You saw him go up the middle in his last at bat. Another good sign for Abreu.
Abreu always been an RBI man. Good at bats with runners in scoring position. Knows what he's trying to do. Doesn't get greedy.
Led the American League a couple of times in RBIs when he was with the White Sox. Signed a 3-year deal with the Astros. Waits for an 0-1. Bouncing ball too short for Rojas. Short out to Vargas. But amidst the boos, Jose Altuve steps up to get Houston on the board, driving in Myers. It's a 3-1 ball game. We played 2.5 in Los Angeles. It's baseball night in America. 3-1 Dodgers to the bottom of the third, and Mookie Betts will take a strike from Ronel Blanco. 2 home runs in the first for the Dodgers. Could have had another one. Mookie Betts was robbed by Corey Julks out in left field on a fabulous leaping catch. Quickly, 0-2 on Betts.
And you see Blanco going after him with 2 sliders. First gets the strike call, and then that one starts out outside of the zone even further. Mookie offers at it.
Yainer Diaz, the catcher today. Diaz has worked with Blanco a lot going back to the minor league days together. Both Dominican Republic natives as well. They have a lot of connectivity going back to their time working up in the Astros system. So Diaz catching again today. And now mixing it up a little bit. A little bit of a changeup that time from Blanco for the strikeout. Julks took that home run away. Let's take a look at StatCast powered by Google Cloud in the first. Great job by Julks at the wall.
I think just finding the wall, knowing where he is, and then able to time his leap, goes over the big part of the fence and brings it back.
One down for Freeman. So now the second time through the order. I think that was the first changeup we had seen from Blanco, or if it wasn't the first, it was a rare one as he used it to get Mookie Betts to swing through. Now 2-0 on Freeman.
Yeah, one of the rare, right on right changeups.
That's right. See. I think it's only the second he's thrown to a right-hander this year. Most of them to lefties. Same deal with the curveball. He'd only thrown 48 changeups or curveballs all season. Two-one to Freeman. Popped up. Pena out. In is Julks. It is Pena who hits the deck but makes the catch. Last year's American League Gold Glover at shortstop makes the play for out number 2. This was the changeup that Blanco used on Betts. See the grip.
Yeah, right there you can see it's almost like a split finger there. And just look at the diving action on that pitch. Mookie's certainly not expecting it, especially after being attacked early with sliders in that at-bat.
Here's Smith, who got Blanco for a solo shot in the first. Oh. 2-0 on Will Smith. Wow, generous call from Manny Gonzalez, the crew chief and home plate umpire. So it's a 2-1 count from Blanco to Smith. He comes back and mixes it up yet again. And starting to add in changeup, fastball, slider.
Right, and staying away from Will Smith. He tried to attack him early on in the first at bat with a fastball in off the plate. Will was able to pull his hands through.
Smith used a timeout with 2 strikes and waits for a 2-2. And lifts at 5. Mel Blanco signed as an international free agent out of the Dominican Republic in 2016 before debuting last year. 4th career major league start all this month for Blanco, who deals 2-2, and Smith spoils another one. We'll do it again. And Smith this time chops it towards short. Pena charging. Tough hop. Nice play by the Gold Glover, who made 2 plays in that inning. 7 straight retired by Blanco since Hayward's 2-run home run. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Verbo, private vacation rentals. George Springer with 5 home runs in that 7-game World Series between the Astros and Dodgers. George Springer still doing his thing out in Toronto. Yainer Diaz takes a strike to start the middle innings against Bobby Miller. Get into a double play in the second. Lifts one out towards shallow center. And this one's going to drop in that little Bermuda triangle, and it's going to kick away from Outman. That's going to allow Diaz to take second base. We'll see how that gets scored. May end up being a double, but that kicked away from Outman on a weird bounce in that, as we said, triangle between the three defenders, Betts, Outman, and Vargas.
Yeah, I think that way it bounced up, Outman just kicked it off his glove. I'm not so sure that just didn't clank the thing. One hop and then
yeah, you're right.
Hits it off the glove. Almost overran it a bit.
Maybe single error here. We'll see. Either way, a man in scoring position, and Jeremy Pena will take a strike.
It's got to be an error now because he stops basically. We'll see how they score it.
It's definitely the fifth hit. I don't see an error on the board, so for the time being, a double. We'll let you know if there's any change to that ruling. Big cut from Pena, 1-2. Struck out 3 times yesterday, but a sharp single to right field in the second. Now a man in scoring position in Diaz. And Miller, he's got all those weapons. He gets a foul tip into the glove of Smith for a strikeout.
That's what makes Bobby Miller so good, is you just can't focus on one pitch. As a hitter, you're thinking, this guy throws 100 miles an hour. I've got to look something hard. This is an 82-mile-an-hour curveball. As we talked about, 5 different pitches, and none of them used less than 10% of the time.
Madris a little off balance on a 91-mile-an-hour delivery from the right-handed Miller.
Yeah, that's got to be the changeup at 91. He's gone curveball, changeup the last 2 pitches.
So now it drops it down to 88.
Yeah,
it's
so
just the same pitch has a couple of different disparities.
And there it is again. It just, again, the guy throws 100 and he's just gone 3 off-speed pitches in a row.
Spikes one. It's 1-2. Madris got called up before this series began. Cesar Sanchez, one of the catchers for Houston, was optioned down to the minors. Madris floats one down the left field line, out of play, foul. The first Palauan to play Major League Baseball. Palauan island country in the Western Pacific, in Oceania. The first player from that region ever to reach the big leagues last season. Had opportunities in a couple of different organizations before debuting with the Pittsburgh Pirates last year. 2-2 pitch. Waved on and missed. So you saw a few more changeups mixed in from Bobby Miller. Back-to-back strikeouts of Pena and Madris, 2 away in the 4th.
They attacked the left-handed hitting Madris with a number of changeups. This one up in the zone, but as you see, it just continues to run away. As a hitter, you're so conscious of that 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Just opens that outside part of the plate up.
Jolks takes one in the dirt, taking off for third is Diaz. The throw is in time. A recovery by Smith. We'll see if Houston wants to challenge this, but Will Smith doing a nice job of recovering to try to cut down Diaz at third. He waits for a ruling from the dugout.
Yeah, Will does a nice job. Watch him just barehand this.
Close play at third base. But it does not seem like the Astros dugout wants to take the risk of challenging this. Smith with a nice barehand play, a bang-bang play at third. Bush with the tag. Out is the call. JD Martinez leads off the Dodger fourth against Ronel Blanco and takes ball one. Official ruling to end the top of the fourth inning. The runner is out trying to advance. It does not go down as a caught stealing. In the air to center. Playable for Myers. One away. 8 in a row retired by Blanco since the second home run. Nice play by Will Smith. Although, if Dusty Baker does indeed challenge this play, I think there's a case to be made that he was safe. Although I understand not wanting to risk it this early in a game.
Right, you see his foot is just off the bag, and the tag is still being applied. Now the question is the glove touching that ankle there, or is that just the back of the hand?
Sure. It's a very interesting ruling had it been challenged at first base. Or third base.
Yeah, needless to say, as you mentioned, a great play by Will Smith, just picking that up barehanded and making the throw. I mean, Will's done a nice job the last couple of ball games. Have made some fine defensive plays. Again, we talk about the accolades while he's hitting. He's been great defensively as well.
1-2 on Hayward.
There's Will.
Will be an all-star for the first time this year. Hayward was the last man to reach against Blanco. His 2-run home run in the first made it 3-0 at the time before Altuve's RBI in the third got Houston on the board. Blanco trying to make it 9 Dodgers in a row sent down. 2-2 on Hayward.
Well, Blanco's done a great job after that first inning of mixing up his pitches. It became a little too four-seam predictable. Throwing that slider, that changeup a lot more often.
And he gets Hayward to roll one over to second base. 9 in a row retired by Blanco. Well, Sunday, July the 9th, the 2023 MLB Draft on ESPN and ESPN Plus for the All-Star Game. Then Tuesday, July the 11th, Betts, Ohtani, Trout, baseball's biggest headliners will take center stage up in Seattle for the Midsummer Classic. Coverage will start at 7 p.m. on Fox. Those Dodgers hosted the All-Star Game last year. Ball one to James Outman. Two of the best rookies in the National League have come out of the NL West. Corbin Carroll, who's probably the front runner for Rookie of the Year. James Outman was making a pretty good case a few weeks back. There's a strike. It's 2-1.
You know, the young man started off on fire in the month of April. Was the Rookie of the Month for April. 7 home runs. Dynamite start.
2-2. But as is often the case with young hitters, guys start to scout you, guys see more tape on you, they start to find holes in your developing swing, and the numbers start to go down a little. '26-year-old out of Sacramento State, 7th round pick. Will foul one at the plate against Blanco, who was hoping to get out of the inning right then and there. There's another Dodger rookie waiting to get back out onto the bump in Bobby Miller.
He's ready, huh?
2-2 from Blanco to Outman is high to run it full.
I don't know if I'm up there hitting and I look over and I see my pitcher all ready to come out. I'm like,
you have no faith?
Come on.
Yeah.
How about a little support?
A payoff pitch. And a swing and a miss. A foul tip really into the glove, but it could not hold on behind the plate. Diaz. That keeps this inning going. You see him get a piece there and just popped out for Diaz. Had it not made contact with the bat, it would have been dropped third strike. Another payoff instead. And a called strike on Outman. Seems like he didn't love that call, but Blanco has retired 10 Dodgers in a row. Suit up at MLBshop.com, the largest selection of authentic caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. MLBshop.com. Corey Julks, first pitch swinging, little flare that drops down in front of Mookie Betts for a base hit. Julks has swung at the first pitch both times. Lined out to Rojas in the third, and he gets a base hit here to start the fifth. So the rookie's on base, and that'll bring up Jake Meyers. Julks has stolen 11 bases this year. Keep an eye on him at first. Myers, who's had a dreadful month of June so far, came up with a big double to get on base in the third, and Altuve came up to drive him in and get the Astros on the board. He's ahead of Bobby Miller 2-0.
Well, he's got himself in a hitter's count 2-0. This is where you're just sitting on something hard. If he throws something that's soft or a slider, you just spit on it.
There's that fastball that runs inside. 3-0. Miller, 24 years of age, Elk Grove Village, Illinois, in suburban Chicago. Went to high school in McHenry, Illinois. There's a strike. Miller's their top pitching prospect in the Dodgers system. There goes the runner. Pitches outside for ball 4. So the first two men at the bottom of the order for Houston have reached base, and now back to the top of the order for the Astros and Altuve. The loneliest Astro fan in that section. Shows bunt, pops it up, drops down. Freeman's got it, flipped to Miller, and Altuve beats it out at first base to load the bases. A looping bunt allows Altuve to bust it down the line on a slowly developing play.
I think Altuve, while it was looping, he was just trying to get it to Freddie Freeman because he felt like he could beat Bobby Miller to first base, and he does. See, Altuve's got him by a good step right here. What happens is Bobby doesn't get off the mound at all. He just watches the bunt to Freddie, then realizes that Freddie's off the bag far enough that he's going to have to get to cover first, and there's just no chance. Now watch him. Watch here. See, that first step or two is just, it's not a real committed first or second step. And this is kind of what happened the other day in his last outing against the Giants. Some things didn't go well, and then late night Lamont Wade hit a home run, and this is why Mark Pryor goes out right now, to calm him down. He's got to limit damage in this inning.
Julks at third, Myers at second, Altuve at first, and here is Alex Bregman with the bases loaded. Little check swing roller foul, 0-1.
I think Alex in his mind had made up that he was swinging at the first pitch, was banking on a fastball. Ended up getting a slider there.
One and one. Off the fist, popped up out of play. 1-2.
Again, with the bases loaded right now, a guy like Alex Bregman, you're trying to limit damage. You're not trying to be perfect. What you're hoping is maybe 1 run, 2 runs at the most this inning.
Stop by Smith, 2-2.
But you're looking for outs. A sac fly, not ideal, but you'll take it. You will take the out, take a sac fly. Hopefully the double play is still in order. Just do not want to go 3-2 to Bregman.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Bregman drills one deep to left field. Hayward ranging back at the wall, and a grand slam by Bregman to put the Astros on top. The 6th career regular season grand slam for Alex Bregman, and he flips this game to 5-3 Astros. It looked like Dusty Baker had made a prediction in the Astros dugout. It may have just come true.
And Bobby Miller tried to sneak a sinker, 98 miles an hour, went out at 104.
Single, walk, bunt single, grand slam, and just like that, the Astros lead. And it's 2-0 on Kyle Tucker.
And interesting enough, it started at the bottom of the order, much like it did in the 3rd inning when they scored.
Tucker takes a strike. Three and one now on Tucker. This is similar to what you said happened to Miller in his last start against the Giants. Things unraveled a little bit. Lamont Wade had that big home run. And now a walk to Tucker. So no outs recorded in the first 5 batters of this 5th inning. Back to the grand slam.
He tries to run that sinker, and Bregman just beats him to the spot. Up and in, and
look at this reaction with Yordan Alvarez and Dusty Baker. It feels like one of those guys called it. So here is Abreu as Tucker reaches on the walk. 17 pitches in this frame from Miller, yet to record an out. A toss over to Tucker, who's stolen 14 of 15 bases this year. Like Bregman has feasted in his career with the bases loaded, and he just did now to give the Astros the lead. Their first lead of this series. Big cut from Abreu for a strike. It's only the 2nd home run allowed by Miller at the major league level. As you mentioned, Lamont Wade, who's having a really nice year for the Giants, all-star caliber year. Hit one last week. That one off the fist, and a hard hit ball from Abreu into left center. Tucker's going to take 3rd base. Abreu is looking for extra bases. Close play at 2nd, and he just got in past the tag of Vargas. Jose Abreu with his 2nd hit of the game after he had come in 3 for his last 24. And still nobody out in this inning.
Again, it's that sinker. He tries to run it up and in. Abreu fights it off and shoots it out into left center. He never stops running. And you see where he slides, hits the left field part of the bag, avoids the tag by Vargas. Watch where he goes. He goes on the other side of the bag, and you see, look at where he's at there. Vargas can't get to him.
Really nice slide by Abreu. Here's Diaz.
Look at where he ends up. Look at, on the inside left field part of the bag. Really a smart slide.
Yeah, home plate side as far away from the tag as he could get. Diaz pops it up. Out of play foul. How about the Astros, who did have a couple of decent games offensively this week? They scored 14 runs in their 2 victories against the Mets earlier this week, but in their previous 6 losses, they have scored a total of 15. So they've been able to manufacture runs today. Obviously, the grand slam by Bregman is the big blow.
It is the big blow, but the big at-bat for me so far, Jake Myers, the number 9 hitter, draws a walk. And that's something that if you're Bobby Miller, you got to go after him. Force him to hit his way onto the bases. Ends up walking. You got first and second. And the bunt by Altuve.
Bouncing ball foul. Now, one of the problems for the Astros, who last season were top 10 in baseball in scoring. Now, granted, offense is up across the board in baseball. So naturally, even if you're putting up the same runs, you might be a little bit lower ranked. But the Astros have tried to get everybody going at the same time. That hasn't really happened this year. It's happening in this inning. Diaz bangs one up the middle. Tucker scores. Abreu into third, and it's 6-3 Astros. A 5-run 5th inning against the rookie. You saw Yency Almonte loosening up, and Dave Roberts getting closer to that top step.
Well, Miller no doubt frustrated. I think where he really got flustered was when Altuve dropped the bunt.
Yeah.
He was mad at himself for not getting over, and I think he was a little bent too that Altuve just dropped the bunt on him, right? He wasn't expecting that at all. Smart baseball play by Altuve. Set things up for Bregman, and Astros are scoring runs.
They haven't stopped since. Still nobody out as 7 batters have come to the plate. Will Smith went out to buy some time for Almonte. Dave Roberts will come out to grab the rookie Miller. Fabulous his first 4 starts. He struggled a bit the last 2.
Craving ballpark food? Just tell Siri, add peanuts to my grocery list.
Bobby Miller has given up 13 earned runs in his last 2 starts now. He's still responsible for the 2 men on base. You see him looking at the iPad, just kind of shaking his head. We're seeing some tape of this inning.
Well, just a frustrating inning for the young man. First pitch he throws, Jolts hits a single. But here was a kicker. Jake Myers, a number 9 hitter, he ended up walking him, and that really set up the whole inning.
Still no outs recorded on 24 pitches. Yency Almonte comes in to face Jeremy Pena with runners at the corners and the infield playing in, as the Astros have put up 5 runs to take a 6-3 lead. Their offense has come alive. Big cut from Pena on a breaking ball, tailing away, 1-1.
Almonte's going to attack you with a steady diet of breaking balls, especially the right-handed hitters.
Couple days off for Almonte, who pitched in the Angels series when they took 2 from the Angels. So now here's one of the big storylines of the week for the Dodgers, their bullpen, which has been excellent over the last 4 games after being very rough overall this season. A tough spot for Almonte to come into with Pena waiting for a 2-1. A little dribbler foul, 2-2. Still nobody out in the frame.
Well, I think if you talk to the guys down in the bullpen, they tell you that they haven't pitched the way they would like. But in their defense, the Dodgers starters, they've gone through a number of young starters. Guys have been in and out of the rotation. They haven't given them a lot of length. I mean, outside of Kershaw.
There's a swing and a miss induced by Almonte to get Pena for the first out of the 5th.
Outside of Kershaw, the Dodgers haven't been able to give the bullpen consistent length. I mean, as far as their starts are 5 innings, Julio Urias, he'll go out on a rehab start tomorrow in Rancho Cucamonga. You see Tony Gonsolin there, Noah Syndergaard, who just hasn't been able to give them what they had hoped.
Among the injuries for the Dodgers and their pitching staff, Dustin May as well. Bunt shown there by Madris, and he'll pull back for ball 1. He has struck out on a slider and a changeup, and this is Astros' debut. He's got Abreu at third and Diaz at first. Three-0 on Madris. We mentioned his background. Abreu a double in this inning, a single by Diaz to drive in a run. That's outside. A 4-pitch walk. Five hits in the first 4 innings against Miller. Double play ball mixed in there. 3 strikeouts. And this inning, 5 runs on 5 hits. The base is still loaded with only 1 out for the man who started this inning. Jolks out of the 8 spot with a single. He'll take a pitch for the first time today, and it's a strike.
You talk about the 5 hits. You also add 3 walks to this inning.
Yep.
Dodger pitching just hasn't been able to find the strike zone or locate the way they want.
Jolks has done a really nice job. See his numbers with the bases loaded in his 58 major league games. Done a good job offensively and defensively. This one back up the middle. Grabbed by Vargas. Steps on second. Throw to first. And that will get the Dodgers out of the inning. A big inning for the Astros. 5 runs in the frame, and the big blow from Alex Bregman. The grand slam line shot, which flips the game and puts the Astros on top halfway through at Dodger Stadium. Bobby Miller now on the hook for the Dodgers, and Ronel Blanco in a much different position now. He has retired the last 10 Dodgers he has faced, and he's working with a lead of 3 runs as he faces Miguel Vargas, who lifts one foul, and it's quickly 0-2.
It'll be interesting to watch Blanco this inning. Now, he's been aggressive, but remember, he's been sitting down watching things for a bit. But again, a 3-run lead. He's changed the way he's attacked the Dodger hitters after that first inning. A lot of 4-seam fastballs then, but after, been mixing things up, a ton of off speed.
Vargas reaches out to poke it foul up the line.
Blanco needs to continue to pitch like he has been. Don't change because now you've got a 3-run lead and you feel like I can be a bit more aggressive, and continue to pitch like you have been by incorporating that off-speed stuff.
Does there. It's hit hard, but grabbed at third by Bregman. Tough throw on the move for out number 1. 11 in a row retired. Former LSU Tiger superstar watching his team in the College World Series Finals makes a nice play.
Nice job of rounding that ball. He catches it with the backhand, takes a few extra steps to get his feet set, makes a good throw, easily gets Vargas.
One away for Rojas. 34-year-old back with the Dodgers. Blanco hits the top of the zone for a strike. Gets Rojas to pop it up. Shielding the eyes, Tucker, so the center fielder Myers helps him out. 2 up and 2 down in the 5th. Bobby Miller still going over the debrief with pitching coach Mark Pryor.
Well, I think he feels like he beat himself, right? The number 9 hitter, he walks. Then a bunt base hit by Altuve where he fails to get off of the mound. And those things are almost, those are self-inflicted. The Bregman home run, you got to just tip your cap. I mean, Alex Bregman, excellent ball player. But those other two, you just feel like, God, I wish I could have those back. Mark Pryor, pitching coach there.
A reunion of sorts today is Mark Pryor, Dusty Baker, yourself, all part of that 2003 Cubs team together.
Dusty is good a manager as the game's ever seen. Not only the resume, but just who he is as a person, how he treats his players.
Former Dodger won his World Series as a player in this city. Big cut from Bush, and it's 3-2. Part of that 1981 championship team. They beat the Astros en route to that World Series win. Bush down the right field line, just foul.
Yeah, you talk about Dusty, and created a lot of memories here at Dodger Stadium, winning the World Series, a couple of all-star appearances, part of that group, the first group of 4 players to hit 30 or more home runs in a season. And he did it on the final day of the season against the Houston Astros off of J.R. Richard.
One of the most imposing figures you'd find on a mound.
He, Steve Garvey, Ron Say, and Reggie Smith were the first quartet to hit 30 or more home runs in a season. That's a heck of a resume right there.
A lot of baseball in that man's life. Payoff pitch to Bush. Foul back. Good at bat here, worked by the number 31 pick out of North Carolina in 2019. Playing third base really consistently for the first time in his pro career. Has really been more of a first baseman, second baseman. Max Muncy was slated to come off the injured list perhaps today, but they have pushed that back for a couple more days as he's recovering from a hamstring injury. He and Mookie Betts are at the top of the home run list for the Dodgers. Each have 18 this year. Muncy's hitting under 200, but he's gotten on base at a good clip and has obviously provided a lot of pop at the plate. Played a solid third base as well. So that's been rough for this Dodger offense without Muncy.
I mean, he's just a presence. Sits in the middle of the lineup. He's a threat. Power threat, gets on base.
10th pitch to Bush is fouled away again. He's fouled away 5 straight 2-strike offerings. We'll do it again.
Yeah, Bush doing a nice job. Blanco continuing to attack the upper part of the zone. You saw him do that earlier with James Outman, another left-handed hitter. Bush continuing to foil those pitches.
Tried the outside corner and missed. Tried that changeup that time and floated it outside. An 11-pitch walk drawn by the 9-hitter in Michael Bush. Now back to the top, and the aforementioned Mookie Betts.
That's a heck of an at-bat by Bush, continuing to make Blanco work and work and work. And now you hope that maybe he makes a mistake right now to Mookie Betts. Yeah, they're going to come. I knew this was going to happen. You got to let him catch his breath, calm him down a little bit, because one pitch here, and it's a 1-run ball game. And Blanco has pitched too well to get himself into trouble like that.
I saw Blanco's first start. We called it on FS1, and we had talked to Dusty Baker. Just, hey, this is a new starter for you. That was his first major league start. Give us a sense of where he's at physically, making the transition. He goes, he's still susceptible to running out of a little bit of gas because of the pitch clock. Now, he was used to it pitching with the clock in the minors, but remember, he was a reliever. he was not a starter at that point. So not only are you getting thrust into a starting role, but you also have to deal with the pitch clock.
Yep.
So keeping your pace and your rhythm up is important. He has pitched into the 6th inning in each of his first 3 starts and reached 94 pitches. But now it's a little bit of a different animal. That's the first man to reach Bush since the 1st inning for the Dodgers. Here's Betts with a man aboard. Back to the mound, and Blanco's going to get out of it. He's retired 13 of the last 14 Dodgers, and he maintains a 3-run Astros lead through 5. USFL playoffs getting going on Fox. Birmingham will be rocking. The defending champion Stallions will take on the New Orleans Breakers in the Southern Division Championship. It's at 7 Eastern on Fox. New Dodger pitcher is newly acquired Ryan Brazier as he comes over from the Boston Red Sox. Making his 2nd appearance with the Dodgers, pitched in the Angels series. Deals with the 9-hitter Jake Myers to start this 6th. And a ground ball to second base to Vargas. It was Myers at bat in the 5th that you said he kind of flipped the inning.
It really was. Jones had just led off with a single. Now this is the number 9 hitter, and he's throwing breaking balls to him, runs a fastball. I mean, basically they were non-competitive pitches. And you're thinking that's a number 9 hitter, but his previous at bat, he jumped on a first pitch fastball. Altuve bunts, and I don't think Miller expected him to bunt, and he certainly didn't get a good break off of the mound. And so that's, as a pitcher, that's emotional, that gets you flustered, and then Bregman bites you.
So here is Altuve with the bases empty. And it's a ball and a strike. Altuve was 1 for 15 before the RBI single in the 3rd. And then that bunt single in the 5th to get aboard and load the bases for the Bregman grand slam. Popped up on the infield. It is Freeman sliding in. He cannot hold on. And Altuve will reach base, and Freeman, who prides himself on his defense over at first, will be disappointed that he did not make that play.
So I'm not sure if the sun may have caused an issue. You see Freeman going back. Now he's coming in. I think he just misses it right there, because he doesn't look at Brazier. He doesn't look. He just clanks that thing.
He's going to watch that back and go, I should have had it. They're going to call it a hit for the time being, I would imagine, because the official score feels that Freeman had to make an extra effort to even get in on that ball. I think Freddie will tell you he should have had it.
Man, that's too. Man, if I was playing defense for the Dodgers right now, my fielding percentage would be 1,000 with this score.
0-1 to Bregman. Hard hit to left field yet again for Bregman as he dumps it down past Hayward. Altuve is on his way to 3rd, and it's extra bases again for Bregman and back-to-back at bats against the Dodgers staff. 2 men in scoring position in the 6th. Weird last couple of pitches all of a sudden.
Yeah, now here's that play that Freddie goes after. You see, he takes a first step back, and then he's coming in, and he's got this. I mean, he's got it. And he'd tell you that he could catch that 1,000 out of 1,000 times, and then Bregman having a day swinging the bat. This time a breaking ball drives that thing into the corner.
They're going to intentionally walk Kyle Tucker to load the bases for Jose Abreu.
You know, one of the things for the Dodgers, and Dave Roberts had alluded to, yes, the bullpen has been taking the brunt of things, but the Dodgers also, during the stretch where they weren't playing well or losing games, they weren't doing things right. They were giving teams the extra base. They weren't running the bases well. They weren't clean fielding balls. And this is what's happening tonight.
Big cut from Abreu on a fastball from Brazier. And for the Astros, who have been searching for offense in the absence of Yordan Alvarez, have a chance for one of their biggest 2-inning stretches offensively of this entire season. Bases loaded again with Altuve, Bregman, and Tucker. Ooh, up and in at 97, and Abreu takes ball one. Towards center field, Outman coming on, dives, and he makes the catch. Altuve will be able to tag, and Abreu has an RBI on the sacrifice fly. It's 7-3 Houston. Nice play by Outman. He laid out to make the out. Second of the frame, and a 4-run Astros lead as Abreu drives one in.
It's a heck of a play by Outman, just because if he doesn't make that catch, there could be real issues. He gets a great jump and then lays out, but if that ball gets by him, those bases are cleared. Really a nice play by the young man.
He's made some really nice catches going a long way this season. He showed off nice range. Abreu gets the RBI, and here is Diaz. Diaz, a couple of base hits, has also hit into one of 2 double plays tonight. Diaz, a 24-year-old who was traded from the Cleveland organization a couple of years ago. Done a really nice job playing multiple positions, and has done a really nice job offensively, in particular this month, in the absence of Alvarez. There's another big hack, and it's 1-2. Brazier trying to get out of this inning with only 1 run across as Alvarez looks on. Alvarez, who has punched out 17 home runs and has a nearly 1,000 OPS this year. Brazier gets the strikeout. Smith will finish it off to Freeman. Abreu gets the RBI. The bases were loaded, only 1 across in the frame for the Astros. They lead by 4. The MLB app, still the #1 place for live baseball, real-time highlights, breaking news faster than ever. I've got the pitch-by-pitch up as well. You can follow players to get a home feed personalized for you. Download the MLB app today. Ronel Blanco to Freddie Freeman to begin the bottom of the 6th, and Freeman's out in front of an off-speed delivery. There's that changeup from Blanco to start off Freeman, who's 0 for 2 today and 0 for 6 in the series. (1,800th) regular season game for Freddie Freeman, closing in on 2,000 hits. Thus far, I feel, has put together the trajectory for a Hall of Fame type career.
Sure. Got the MVP, the World Series championship, and still a lot of ball games ahead for
Absolutely. There's a 2-1 from Blanco. 2-2.
So I feel like Blanco, even though this is 3rd time around, is going to be effective, and because for 2 reasons. One, relying a lot more on the breaking ball, but also the shadows now have come into play.
Yep.
You incorporate that with his pitch sequencing now, it's going to be tough.
Freeman golfs one, well struck the other way as it's twisting out of play. We mentioned it earlier, Blanco has gone 94 pitches and has pitched into the 6th inning in each start. It didn't look like that was going to be the case today after he gave up 2 home runs, and remember, Betts got robbed.
Right, yep.
Dodgers were smoking the ball in the 1st inning, but you pointed out the change in approach of Blanco, which has helped him go this far. 3-2 on Freeman. Blanco won his first big league start against the Angels on June 1st, pitched well in a no decision in a 1-run loss at Toronto. Had to move back to the bullpen, but ended up just going back to the rotation immediately. Freeman rips it, but foul. Still 3-2 on the Dodger first baseman.
And you see, even with a 7-3 lead, Blanco on a 3-2 pitch is going with the breaking ball. Did not go with the fastball there. Staying away from it.
Payoff pitch again. And this time he gets Freeman down on strikes. 14 of the last 15 retired by Blanco. Let's check in with our man Chris Myers for a game break. Chris. Chris, thanks so much. So one of the longest winning streaks in baseball this year, and a historically long streak for the Cincinnati Reds. It comes to a close at the hands of the Braves, 7-6. They had won 12 in a row before that loss. Longest streak since the late 50s for Cincinnati. They have taken over first place over the Brewers.
Well, they've taken over the city again.
Yeah,
is what they've done.
Good point.
The energy, sellouts all this weekend. I mean, just earlier in the year, there was a crowd. I remember watching 7,000, right? 7, and now you're selling out.
Yeah. A lot of notable streaks were snapped. The Giants were hot. The Braves have stayed hot. They've won 9 of 10 now. Pirates had a 10-game skid snapped last night. There's a high strike from Blanco to Smith, 2-2. But the Cincinnati Reds, Dela Cruz with the cycle for the Reds the other night as well. Will Benson showed up, had a big moment in this stretch. Blanco with back-to-back strikeouts to start this 6th. That time on the fastball, he's got 6 of them today.
You mentioned just rears back and throws that fastball in the upper part of the zone, and just not an ideal time to be up at the plate. You see those shadows, the background.
It's a career high now. 6 strikeouts for Blanco. The last start for Blanco was on June the 18th against the aforementioned Reds during that 12-game win streak.
I don't think you can say enough about what Blanco has done this evening, just because of the way things started, and he's down 3-0. So not only does he make a change in the way he's attacking the Dodger hitters, but he's kept his ball club in the game. It wasn't until the 5th inning that the Astros were able to take the lead. Blanco just continued to put down the Dodger hitters.
And now he's 1 strike away from getting through Freeman, Smith, and Martinez in order, as he is getting ready to throw his 99th pitch and the longest start of his major league career so far. A 1-2. Ground ball to third. Grabbed by Bregman, and 6 fabulous innings from Ronel Blanco, the rookie from the Dominican Republic. He retires 16 of the last 17 Dodgers he faces. Recently, you saw the entirety of the Women's World Cup roster named. A lot of familiar faces and some youthful infusion for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. Trying to make it 3 consecutive World Cup championships. Don't miss the action. The tournament kicks off July the 20th across the Fox Sports networks. Phil Bickford makes his first appearance since early June. He was activated off the IL from a lower back issue that had kept him out for the last few weeks. Yesterday, and he makes his first appearance since June the 2nd. He deals a strike to Jeremy Pena to start the late innings. Rubber-armed right-hander who's been very reliable, although has had a struggling season thus far.
Well, you mentioned a rubber arm. He's been asked to come in on a number of occasions, and the outcome has been sporadic.
Pena went around, according to the home plate umpire and crew chief Manny Gonzalez. 1-2. Bickford, a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball and slider. Most of that fastball. And he gets the fastball past Pena, who has struck out 6 times in the first 2 games of this series. Well, after a 3-0 start for the Dodgers in the first inning, Ronel Blanco settled in and locked it down. A career high 99 pitches, a career high 6 strikeouts, and he retired 16 of the last 17.
I think the most impressive thing about him is his ability to bounce back from that first inning and also make an alteration in the way he was attacking the Dodger hitters. I mean, that speaks about growth, that speaks about maturity.
Madris takes high 1-1. So Blanco in line for his second career major league win as a starter.
And that's who the Astros are relying on right now. This young man, J.P. France, last night.
In the air to left, Madris out to Hayward for out number 2.
Talk about Hunter Brown throwing tomorrow. Again, like, you know, at least with Hunter Brown, you watch him. If you watched him on the mound, his mannerisms, his windup, the way he throws, it does remind you a lot of Justin Verlander. Now, it's tough. It's not the same. They don't pitch the same, but you'd have no idea. But these are the guys that they're having to rely on. Sure, you've got Fromber. I mean, he's the big guy.
Today was the 27th start by a rookie for the Astros, which is top 3 in baseball in terms of number of rookie starts. 35% of their games have been started by a rookie this year between Brown, Blanco. Foul back by Joltz, another rookie. A lot of young guys have had to make contributions for Dusty Baker with the veterans being injured.
Well, and that's the thing. If you look at what Dusty's been able to accomplish with this ball club, all the injuries, the youth, I mean, you just got to say this is impressive. Now, I expect it from Dusty because I think he is one of the best managers, if not the best in the game. But what both of these managers have accomplished so far this year with their teams, it hasn't been a straight line for either one of these ball clubs.
Not at all.
And that's the way it's been the last few years. It's pencil in the division. You're going to have 100 wins. No, not this year. There's going to be a long, windy road for both of them. But I think both of them will be in the postseason.
I think part of that, too, is the improvement of the teams around them in their respective divisions, certainly. 2-2 to Joltz from Bickford is waved on and foul tipped into the glove of Smith on a slider. He strikes out a pair in a 1-2-3-7. Stretch time in LA.
I just want to rock. Body of the yacht.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Geico. See how easy it is to bundle all your insurance needs. Great day in Los Angeles. And Phil Maton, who has been asked to get a lot of outs as of late. See his 42 strikeouts in 33 appearances, coming off a winning decision against the Mets on Wednesday. He's getting a lot of weak contact this season.
Yeah, throws a lot of off speed, loves his curveball against left-handed hitters. Curveball four-seamer mainly against the lefties. Occasional sweeper.
We'll face a couple of lefties to start this inning. Jason Hayward leads it off and gets hit. And you can see Phil Maton frustrated at himself. I imagine that's the last thing you want to do fresh out of the pen with a 4-run lead.
I mean, that 75 mile an hour just almost hit him behind him, right? I mean, look at the back of the hamstring.
Look at the Maton reaction. You can tell, just yanked one to start this inning. So let's see if the Dodgers build off that, and if Maton can shut it down. Here's another lefty and Outman. He's a little late on that pitch at 89. Cut action. Outman has struck out swinging on a slider and looking on a slider. Speaking of which, big break on that pitch. 0-2.
Yeah, you see that pitch started inside and then even moved off further on the plate. That's the thing. He's not going to throw anything in the 90-mile-an-hour range. See, that ball just continues to go in, and Outman hits it off his back leg.
You said it, off speed and breaking ball heavy. Phil Maton. Hayward stays. And Outman evens the count, taking a pitch inside.
Yeah, good job by Outman in that situation. Similar to the second pitch. Inside, breaks even further, and first time he offered at it, this time good enough to lay off.
Breaking ball lifted in the air. Alex Bregman is over. There's out number 1. So now it'll be David Peralta coming to the plate. Chris Myers has a game break for us. Wow, 11 of the last 12 in the win column for the Giants. And the two teams directly in front of the Dodgers in the NL West battling. The lead now is 2.5 games for Arizona over the third-place Dodgers at the top of the division. Here's David Peralta lifting one to right. Back towards the wall. It's Tucker off the bench. And a 2-run bomb from Peralta. And the Dodgers cut the deficit in half. The freight train wasted no time. First pitch against Maton to make it 7-5. Here's Rojas.
Dave Roberts pushing the right buttons, puts in Peralta. Just a curveball over the middle part of the plate. You'd seen Outman, he was getting way inside. This one leaves out over the middle part. 74 miles coming in, 102 going out.
Out to right, Tucker in to make the catch to retire Rojas. 2 down.
You look where he leaves this pitch, just the center part of the plate, and he knows when he throws it. He's just hoping that Peralta misses it. And he does not. Peralta having a heck of a June for these Dodgers.
Hitting almost 400 this month for Los Angeles. Michael Busch takes ball 1. There's a strike. Nice pitch by Maton to bounce back. You see Hector Neris loosening up in the Astros pen. He pitched the 8th inning for Houston yesterday. Breaking ball lifted to left. Well struck off the bat of Busch. It is playable for Julks, but he can't get there. Into second base goes Busch. Another extra base hit for the rookie, his second of this series. Long route for Julks as that ball kept slicing away from him.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Julks picked it up off of the bat because, as you mentioned, a bit of a circuitous route. Didn't go after the ball. It just kind of almost looked like he surrounded it. See, watch it. He started back, and then he starts going in, and he realizes, I'm not going to be able to get there. I'm not sure that he ever would have had a play on it. But it certainly wasn't a direct route.
And as has been the case today, the 9 hitters have made important contributions to turn the lineup back over to the top. Betts is coming up. Dusty Baker is out. And a rough outing for Maton, who started this inning hitting Hayward and has given up a 2-run home run and a double as well in the 7th. Ronel Blanco had a rough first inning, gave up a couple of home runs and an almost home run and 3 runs total, then locked in for the next 5 frames, had a fabulous outing in just his 4th big league start.
Yeah, Blanco just doing everything possible to keep the Astros in the ballgame, changed his pitch selection, attacked the Dodger hitters, and did well enough until the Astro offense could get going.
To the tune of 7 straight runs, but now in this inning, Phil Maton came in, hit a batter and has given up a 2-run pinch hit home run to David Peralta. And then a double from the rookie Bush in the 9 spot. The Dodgers in this game have 4 hits. 3 of them are for extra bases. Or I should say all of them are for extra bases. 3 are homers and a double. That's it. So now Hector Neris comes in to try to clean up some of this damage. He's had a great season. He pitched a scoreless 8th inning yesterday while the Astros were down a run. Here's Mookie Betts, who represents the tying run at the plate with 2 outs in the 7th.
Mentioned Mookie home run last night to lead off the game. Had a would-be home run in the first if it wasn't for Corey Julks.
Betts swings and sends it to center for Myers, and that'll do it for the Dodgers in the 7th. Neris gets him out of the jam. Peralta comes off the bench with the 2-run home run. We've got a 2-run game to the 8th. Wild game on this Saturday night in Los Angeles. Dodgers led 3-0 after 1. 7 straight by the Astros before 2 in the 7th on the Peralta homer for Los Angeles. First pitch swinging, the 9-hitter Jake Myers, who's been heavily involved today, fouls one away against Phil Bickford, who's into his 2nd inning of relief. Pitch upstairs, a ball and a strike. Peralta does stay in the game. He will stay in the game to play left, which moves Jason Hayward to right. It was Vargas who was pinch hit for. Mookie Betts moves to the middle infield, where he has played a handful this season. He's made some impressive plays. A true athlete. Has played both short and second. Myers came in slumping, 0 for 23, but doubled in the 3rd and scored on an Altuve RBI. Walked and scored in the 5th on the Bregman grand slam. Goes fishing there, and Bickford gets him on the slider. 3 of the 4 that Bickford has faced, he has struck out, 2 of which on sliders. And here comes Altuve again. There's a strike. The juxtaposition of faces shown by our fabulous crew in LA as Altuve waits for an 0. Two and 1. A 3-hit game for Altuve. 2 of those hits were on the infield. There's a strike. 2 and 2. Two down as Altuve goes down looking on the fastball. And that'll bring up, if Altuve's public enemy 1, here's public enemy number 2.
And he didn't do himself any favors after this swing earlier in the ball game. A 2-2 pitch. Miller tried to beat him with a sinker in. He got the bat head out. Grand slam.
The big blow in that 5-run 5th inning, which flipped the game around. Alex Bregman's grand slam, the 6th of his regular season career. Hit one in the World Series against the Nats a few years back, too. He had a slow start. He was hitting around 200 in mid-May until a series against the White Sox. That's been the case the last few years for Bregman. For whatever reason, that White Sox pitching staff seems to favor him. And he's turned things around each of the last few seasons after going down facing Chicago. He's been hitting around 300 over the last month plus. Little nubber here, stays in play for Bickford, who makes a good play. Phil Bickford, 6 up, 6 down, 4 strikeouts in relief in his first outing back with the Dodgers. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Subway. Subway's upping their game with the Subway Series menu. You mentioned it, Dusty Baker was part of that first group of 4 to have 30 home runs apiece. It was on that 30th home run on the last day of the season where he apparently invented the high five. That's one of the great stories surrounding a great baseball career of Dusty Baker, now the manager of the Houston Astros.
High five with Glenn Burt, former outfielder of the Dodgers.
Absolutely. Brian Abreu has had a strong season. He has to go through a strong part of the Dodger order. Freeman, Smith, and Martinez all due up here in this 8th inning in what is a 2-run game after the David Peralta pinch hit 7th inning home run.
Much more hitter friendly. The shadows are gone.
There's a strike to Freeman. Blanco hoping that the Astros bullpen holds on for what would be his second win as a starter. After he pitched 6 strong innings, it took Maton and Neris to get out of the 7. And now Brian Abreu is in. Struck out a couple on Wednesday against the Mets to help the Astros get a win. And now Freeman in a high leverage count, 3 balls and a strike.
Freddie's got a pinhole him right here. He's trying to get down to first base any way he can. He can hit 3-1 or 3-2. Got to make him throw a perfect strike.
That was way inside. He yanked it. Leadoff man is on base, and the tying run will come to the plate. One of the other apocryphal stories that surrounds that invention of the high five, some people think it was invented at the University of Louisville as part of their basketball team. Here's a former first-round pick out of the University of Louisville, Will Smith, who represents the tying run. In there for a strike at 98 from Brian Abreu.
Manny Gonzalez with a generous strike zone. That ball a couple inches off the inside part of the plate.
He's been given the corners to the pitchers today. And some extension as well. That one over the heart of the plate, and it swung on and missed. 0-2. Mostly slider fastball for Brian Abreu. He mixes in a curveball once in a while. Mostly to left-handers. Smith used the timeout. 0-2. We saw Abreu mix up his timing a little bit because the pitch clock had reset to 20 after Smith had used the timeout. You see more pitchers counteracting the 2-strike timeout by messing with the timing of the hitter and the base runner.
Well, and the way they can do that is if the hitter engages early, which is what Will Smith did. You just don't engage until you're down to 10 seconds.
Speaking of which, a disengagement there to check on Freeman. Freeman has stolen 10 bases in 11 tries. It's the first time in his career that he has double-digit steals prior to the All-Star break. Dodgers have not stolen a ton. Freeman has almost about 20%, a little more than 20% of their steals this year. Smith loops it foul, staying alive. Smith had a home run back in the first inning, along with Hayward. And then Peralta with the 2-run blast in the 7th. They're still without Max Muncy. He and Betts have 18 each, tied for the team lead. Muncy hoping to be back in Colorado this week. And the Dodgers start a 6-game road trip. There's a ball to Smith, 1-2.
They've got to continue to go after Smith on the outer part of the plate. When they tried to come in earlier in the game, hit a home run to left field. Did a great job of pulling his hands in.
2-2. A 2-2 pitch. Smith checks his swing. It's outside. Count runs full. So from down 0-2 to fouling a couple away to full.
It's a great take by Will Smith, and you've got to continue to look out away. If you get beat inside, you tip your cap, but look away here in this situation.
Payoff. Freeman fights it off with a little bit of a half swing there. Just got a piece to stay alive against Abreu. It's kind of what you were talking about, EK, looking away and just got a piece.
Yeah, that's the only way you're going to even get another pitch, because if you're looking in or worried about getting beat inside, that opens up the whole outside part of the plate. Just continue to look away.
Pitch number 9 to Smith is up and in. And it's ball 4. The tying run is aboard, and the go-ahead run for the Dodgers will come to the plate in J.D. Martinez here in the 8th. Joshua Miller, one of the pitching coaches for the Astros, is going to make his way out. You see Diaz trying to settle Abreu down. Back-to-back walks.
Yeah, Abreu, remember, he started Will Smith the first 2 pitches. He had him 0-2. Then he started to get fine and try and make the perfect pitch on the outer part of the plate. He missed some. Will fouled off a few more pitches, but he just couldn't put them away. You got to continue to be aggressive.
And I was going to say, EK, this is a really important series for both teams as to where they are in their current divisions right now. We said it. The Diamondbacks don't look like they're going away anytime soon. The Giants are as hot as they come, along with the Reds in the National League. For the Astros, the Rangers have played very well. And the Angels still have Ohtani and Trout, who are playing at excellent levels right now. These are 2 teams in tough divisions who need games, and this is an important one right now, and an important batter in Martinez against Abreu. Ball 1.
And you can see Abreu, he doesn't want any part of the middle or inner half of the plate at all. Going to try to continue to go away, get the Dodgers to chase, and we talked about it earlier, they don't chase.
That one skips from Diaz. Good job by Diaz to recover that nicely. That will keep the runners at bay.
And this ball just way in front of the plate. Diaz does a nice job. So Martinez has earned a 2-0 fastball. And when I say earned it, that's all you're sitting on right here. You could cheat a little, think about getting that bat head out, but you're selling out for a fastball. And that's perfect right there.
Yeah, so good job to resequence it.
Right, if you don't, I mean, he does a nice job of pitching. JD does an excellent job of taking that pitch.
Two on, nobody out. The 2-1. Martinez checks his swing on a low pitch. 3-1. Jason Hayward's on deck.
Threw a 2-0 breaking ball last time. 3-1.
Martinez
does it
takes
again.
A strike on
Does
that same pitch. Went to the breaking ball there. I mean, you're walking us through the chess match right now between Abreu and Martinez.
And right now, 3-1, I'm letting the ball travel. If it's a fastball, I'm shooting it to right, but I'm ready for that breaking ball. I am not going to get beat by a breaking ball here.
That's the mindset for Martinez. Abreu with a 3-2 pitch. Check swing, appeal to first, no swing. The bases are loaded with 3 straight Abreu walks to begin the 8th inning, and the go-ahead run is on base for Hayward. Ryan Stanek loosening up behind Abreu. Reset the pitch clock. Time was used. Big pitch by Abreu over the heart of the plate. You figured Hayward might be taking there to see what the control was like. It is a strike. Check swing on a breaking ball, and it's in there again. 2 good pitches by Abreu, and it's 0-2 on Hayward.
Now Abreu did the same thing to Will Smith, jumped ahead 0-2. You've got to continue to be aggressive here, make competitive pitches.
Oh-2 upstairs.
See, that's not a competitive pitch. What I mean by competitive pitches, you've got to hit an edge. You've got to be enticing to the hitter. That right there, Hayward's not even going to offer it that.
Hayward takes low on a slider.
See, now we're back to 2-2, and it's a similar situation. Is Abreu, he doesn't want to get to 3-2. I got to think it's a slider, right? I've got to take the 2-strike approach if I'm Hayward.
Slider into right center field. Tucker is over with a sliding catch. Freeman will take off from third and score. On to third goes Smith, and it's a 1-run game with only 1 out in the 8th. Nice play by Tucker to potentially take a couple of runs or maybe an extra run off the board. Hayward does his job and gets it to the outfield for a run.
Well, a lot of good things in that sequence there. Hayward's sitting on a slider right there. That thing hangs. Tucker making a nice play, getting a good jump, coming in and making that catch. And Will Smith, an excellent job of base running, going to tag at second base, getting to third now. Tying run at third base with 1 out.
Here's Outman. Close pitch. It's a ball.
And this is what I'm talking about, Adam. Watch Will Smith. He gets back. He knows that he has to get to third base. If he can get there with 1 out, sac fly can score him.
Couple of fastballs miss, and it's 2-0 on Outman.
If I'm Outman right now, it's 2-0. He's missed with 2 fastballs. I'm sitting on a slider. I'm going to sell out for a slider right here. There it was. It's a tough thing about hitting because you got to commit, and it's so very tough to just commit.
Outman uses his timeout.
As a hitter, you're thinking, okay, he just threw me 2 fastballs. Is he going to throw me another fastball? I don't want to get, you just got to say, I'm sitting on a slider.
JD Martinez is out, and the rookie Johnny DeLuca, the 25th round pick out of the University of Oregon, will make his 11th major league appearance as he represents the key go-ahead run for the Dodgers here in the 8th.
Super athletic and can steal a base, can run. If anything, it gives Abreu somebody to think about over at first base.
2 balls and a strike. A pitch to Outman. Abreu's been trying that corner, more competitive pitches, but he's missed very close.
Right, competitive, but here we go again. It's a 3-1 pitch. In all 2-0, 3-1 to Martinez, he went breaking ball. 3-2 to Hayward, break it. I'm sitting slider right here. He throws a fastball, oh well, I'm sitting slider.
3-1 pitch, slider, drilled to right field. Back goes Tucker to the wall, and James Outman has turned this game around. The Dodgers lead in the 8th. Oh, it got stuck. It got stuck in the fence. So now you got the first base umpire, Quinn Wolcott, heading out there to take a look at the fence.
So it'll be interesting here as only 1 run scores.
That's right, because that would only tie the game, not give the Dodgers the lead. It's only going to be the double. It's a ground rule double officially. Dusty Baker's going to come out and grab the ball from Abreu. Dave Roberts gets the explanation from Manny Gonzalez, the home plate umpire. This game is tied from Outman on what is ruled a ground rule double. But what a big inning going for the Dodgers as they've struck twice. A lot to sort out. But it's 7-7 in inning number 8. So take a look at the ball. It's above the H on that Coca-Cola a hit every time sign. If this is not a ground rule double, the Dodgers take the lead. Instead, it sticks right into the fence. So it's not a live ball. It dies. DeLuca ends up at third as the go-ahead run. It's a ground rule double. And now David Peralta, who came on in the 7th inning and hit a 2-run pinch hit homer off of Phil Maton to make it a 2-run game, now faces Ryan Stanek, who pitched a scoreless 7th last night. Infield is in for Houston. And Peralta's out in front. It's 1-1. That would have given LA the lead had it stayed in play instead of ground rule double. 7 up in a wild Saturday night game at Dodger Stadium between these two perennial powerhouses. A 1-1. Peralta fouls it 1-2.
But you mentioned a wild game. There've just been swings, right?
Yeah.
You see, this is a slider. We talked about it during the at-bat. Abreu just became too predictable. And anytime he needed to make a pitch, it was going to the slider. See, Outman doesn't know. He just knows he hit it hard. Some good's happening. I'm either having 1 RBI or 3. And at this point right now, I don't care.
Got stuck right there. Otherwise, it's a Dodger lead. 1-2 pitch. Stanek to Peralta. Fouled away.
The same thing, too, as a hitter right now. You've got the infield in. And you just want to let the ball get as deep as you can. You're just trying to flip something. As a left-handed hitter, you're trying to flip something out to left center field. Let the ball get deep on you.
1-2 again. Peralta takes inside. 2-2 the count. Stanek in the 7th last night gave up a single to Smith, but struck out Betts, Freeman, and Martinez. Needed 26 pitches, though, to get through. He's pitching back-to-back. And he gets Peralta. A big second out from Stanek.
It's a great pitch by Stanek. Down and in. That splitter, and you see Peralta just way out in front of it. Great location. Such a huge pitch by Stanek. And confident enough to throw that and not bounce it.
Here's Rojas. Well, it's just one of those bonkers baseball games this season. This has been a lot of fun. Outman's ground rule double tied it. DeLuca the go-ahead run at third. And Rojas fouls it down the line.
Well, I think what's been interesting for me is the Dodgers had a 3-run lead. Then you look at the Astros, they had a 4-run lead. And now here we are, we're tied.
Just a wild game. Dodgers only have 5 hits. All of them are for extra bases. 3 home runs, 2 doubles. A 1-1 to Rojas. Foul back. Stanek ramped it up to 99 that time. A chance to get out of this inning for Stanek. And Baker and the Astros in a tie game. A chance for Rojas to give the Dodgers the lead. A 1-2 pitch in the 8th. It is low, 2-2.
Nice job by Diaz with the runner at third base. And again, just even confident because Stanek, that split finger, that's a great pitch for him. But if that thing can get away from you, bounces it, I mean, it's gutsy to make that call behind the plate.
2 on, 2 out, a 2-2 pitch. Is close but outside and low. 3-2. Oh my goodness! That's going to score a run. DeLuca comes across, and it's 8-7 Dodgers.
He called a balk on Stanek, and Stanek is arguing.
He is
saying, like, what did I do here?
How is that a balk? He is asking home plate umpire and crew chief Manny Gonzalez, but Gonzalez was adamant. And Dusty Baker is livid. Let's see her waiting to see if Stanek comes set. He stepped off the rubber, and that's when Gonzalez called him for the balk.
I don't know. I think Junior Valentine called the balk.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's the second base umpire that called it. You see it. You got back on the rubber and then stepped off. So the timing was not to the liking of the second base umpire, Junior Valentine, and Gonzalez called it after he saw his second base umpire. The pitch to Rojas is outside. It ends up being a walk, but the go-ahead run scores on a balk by Stanek. DeLuca scored. So watch Valentine, the second base ump. So Stanek stepped off, and Valentine immediately called it, and Gonzalez stepped out and said a run comes home.
So he's just saying, I stepped off. All he's saying is, I stepped off. How is that a balk? Junior Valentine is saying that you started your motion prior to stepping off.
Oh, that's the first career balk against Ryan Stanek, and it allows the third and go-ahead run to score in the 8th. Now Bush takes ball 1. Bush swings and misses 1-1. You got to step backwards off the rubber with the pivot foot. That's one of the stipulations. I'll be curious to go back and see if maybe that was the case. There's a strike to Bush, 1-2. This has been a wild game and a wild inning. A 2-1 the count. Thought that last one was a strike. Beg your pardon. Stanek was getting clarification as well. Ball. That one's a ball. Only 1 hit in this inning, which could have scored the go-ahead run, but was ruled a ground rule double. That was the Outman hit. Other than that, 3 runs on just the 1 hit. Fouled away by Bush. This inning started with 3 consecutive walks, a sacrifice fly, then that ground rule double against Abreu, who was pulled. Stanek comes in. He strikes out Vargas and was sitting at 3-2 on Rojas before being called for a balk that allowed DeLuca the go-ahead run, who was pinch running for Martinez, to score and make it 8-7. Outman got third, and then Rojas walked on the next pitch. Now another payoff, this one to Bush. Runner takes off from first. It's fouled back.
If you look back at this inning, Brian Abreu just wasn't able to put away Dodger hitters. He had Will Smith down 0-2, ended up walking him. Jason Hayward he had down 0-2. Sacrifice fly and a runner advanced to third in that at-bat. So they were in a position, the Astros were, but they just couldn't make that final pitch.
Payoff again to Bush, and this time he strikes out. A frustrated Stanek looks back and gets ejected by the second base umpire, Junior Valentine, after arguing that balk, which brought the go-ahead run home. Valentine is having none of it. Joshua Miller comes out to grab Stanek. Manny Gonzalez, the crew chief, has to step in front of Stanek. And that's going to do it in what was a wild 8th inning in an already wild Saturday on Chavez Ravine. Dodgers 8, Astros 7 to the 9th. Home Run Derby on ESPN. The next night, July the 11th, the Stars take center stage on the All-Star Red Carpet Show at 2 Eastern on MLB Network. We'll have the Major League Baseball All-Star Game at 7 Eastern on Fox. After a crazy 8th inning where the Dodgers scored 3 runs on just a hit, Ryan Stanek and Dusty Baker get ejected. You see Dusty just at the steps of that clubhouse. We were told at least that Dusty was ejected. And now Kyle Tucker with a ground ball base hit into right field off Evan Phillips to begin the 9th, and the tying run is on base for Houston. Here is how the go-ahead run scored on a balk against Stanek. Pointed out to me.
Watch Stanek's right knee. It starts right there, and then he continues to move after. So it's not just a fluid movement. It's move the right knee and then start up again. That's what Junior Valentine called. Now, have we seen a lot worse not get called?
Yeah, right.
100%. Right. But that's what he saw.
And now Abreu sees a strike on the inside edge on a breaking ball.
I'll say this, so with the way that the game has gone this evening, well, I feel like we're a long way from being over, right? I mean,
Manny Gonzalez ejected Baker. The 0-1. Back up the middle, off of the glove of Phillips. He'll look for the lead runner at second. Relay to first is in time. It's a double play. Remember Mookie Betts playing in the middle infield now. And Phillips knocked it down to start this one, which goes 1-4-3.
Well, you thought this might be trouble the minute Phillips knocks it down. But he stays calm, grabs it barehanded. Mookie, I'll tell you what, he made a nice play at short the other night starting a double play. Shows he can do it at second as well.
Last chance for the Astros, it's the rookie Diaz. .1-0 from Phillips. Is a strike. Dodger bullpen has allowed just 1 run in its last 20 innings.
And that 1 run, a little questionable.
1-2. Phillips trying to lock it down and close it out. Diaz lifts it to right. Hayward is there, and a bonkers Saturday on Chavez Ravine closes 8-7 in favor of the Dodgers for their 4th consecutive victory.
This game had a little bit of everything. It started off, the Dodgers looked like they were going to run away with things. Then no, the Astros come back, a big grand slam by Bregman. They take the lead, and then the Dodgers They check back in. They get into this ball game. A crazy call, balk call by the umpire, and the Dodgers end up winning.
Dodgers led 3-0. Astros led 7-3. Dodgers score the final 5, including 3 in the 8th. They tied the game on the Outman ground rule double, which would have given him the lead had it been a live ball. Instead, the next batter was Rojas. A balk was called. DeLuca, the go-ahead run, scores. Junior Valentine, the second base umpire, called it. Stanek finished the inning and got ejected by Valentine. Gonzalez ejected Dusty Baker before the 9th inning. Phillips comes on, gets his 10th save of the season. The Dodger bullpen locks it in, and a up and down, back and forth, pendulum momentum swinging game in Los Angeles finishes 8-7 Dodgers over the Astros. For Eric Karros and our great crew, Adam Amin saying so long from LA. Chris and D-Train are coming up after this.